If I'm thinking about the European Union, I'm thinking about trading and working together.
Right.
And we need the leftists, the globalists are talking about we need to have the European because we don't, then we don't get war.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of like So the way the EU started out, you know, it was the European Economic Association, something like that. So it started out, it was a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Right?
Working together, building.
Exactly. But then, you know, they started to want to make it into the United States of Europe, or, you know, whatever they're going to call it. So, and they're working on that tirelessly. And yeah, it's insane.
I wanted to ask you about the European elections, because you joined the European Union to bring Germany out of the European.
I actually joined the European Parliament, the EU Parliament, by the way.
To get out of the European Union, and we're calling for an exit, like the Brexit. How are we going to reach that? How is the path, the way to go?
What we would like, as my party, what we would like to achieve at the very least is to get a referendum.
Yeah.
So the German people can actually vote on whether or not we should leave the EU. I'm convinced there is no other way. We have to leave, because they will not take no for an answer.
That's what I mentioned.
So the only way to preserve your national identity, your cultural identity, your national sovereignty is to actually get out of this hellhole. And a positive side effect of Germany actually leaving EU would be, then the party would be over, because they would have not the funds to finance their idiocy and their stupidity any longer. So that would save pretty much everyone's problem.
Exactly. So the problem's in court, because now in Holland 95% of the laws are not fitting because they're overruled by the European Union. But it's the same thing. If we go out of the European Union, we can have all kinds of treaties with the United Nations, NATO, World Economic Forum, World Health Organization. We can get out of there. They're overruling our sovereignty.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, just look at what they're trying to do with WHO right now.
Yeah.
Right? So we're actually talking about granting a non-elected body with governing powers.
Yeah.
You know? So WHO can call out an epidemic, and once they have done so, they will seize the governing powers of the member states. But the thing is this. They weren't elected. They're not accountable to the people. So how is this supposed to work? And what can the people, I mean, in a democracy, is if the government, you know, imposes legislation on you that the people don't want, then they can vote them out of office. Yeah. What are you going to do with the WHO? You can't vote them out of office because you never voted them in. Bash down on the people too hard, they might not get reelected. So, and the solution to that is now, well, we just, you know, have the WHO call the shots. And what they're achieving with that is actually providing plausible deniability to the elected officials. Because now they can say, well, we didn't take away your freedom, we didn't infringe on your rights, it was the WHO.
You just take them advice and implement it.
Nothing we can do about this, right? Yeah, that's what it is. But on EU level, the very same party, they do exactly the opposite. So, and once again, in the national parliament, the politicians say, well, we didn't do this. It's coming from EU. There is nothing we can do about it, right? Like, plausible deniability. In a democracy, it's that, the people, they're the boss, and the government is actually the employee. And the employee has to do what the boss is telling them to do. But they managed to switch this around, where it's now the government is telling the people what they have to want, right?
All the way around.
It's insane.
Jasper experience on Common Sense